r/ask Reddit. What's one of the dumbest things you've ever spent money on? When I was like 14 I bought a pack of intentionally mismatched socks that were really expensive. Like, only one of each pattern. Could have bought twice as many normal socks and just mismatched them myself. I did this too, but to make it worse I bought 2 packs so that I could match them. When I went on a school field trip to Washington DC back in middle school, I bought a $2 bill at a souvenir shop for $20. SMH. That's a shame they practically scammed a kid for 18 bucks. I bought a timeshare. Look, if you're still not comfortable with the numbers, you just double down. You get 2 weeks. Sell that second week. Boom. You're vacationing for free. I was drunk and bought Monster Ballads off an infomercial, and I paid an extra $20 for rush delivery because I was drunk and needed it ASAP, and it showed up a month later. I've always wanted to meet someone who bought music off an infomercial. This is a big thrill for me. My sister bought one of those, now that's what I call music CDs. Actually had some cool tunes on it and played it on our stereo. Then Napster and LimeWire kicked in and we couldn't give a single duck about it. I was just a few weeks out of basic training and bought one of those family lineage with the shields on it and description. I blew $500 or so bucks just to find out it wasn't even accurate. LOL classic boot. And I was booting hard. I spent $40 one of those amusement park booths where you had to throw darts at balloons. For some reason, I picked out this really ugly 7 feet tall frog stuffed animal. It's in the corner of my closet and still scares me when I'm half awake in the morning. I had one of those from Six Flags. I won it early in the day and my dad was so pissed. I named his Froggy Mick Hopperstein and kept him for over 10 years. My mom finally got rid of him saying she couldn't spare that much space for him anymore. RIP. I once went to a novelty thrift shop that had a ton of random shit. Ended up spending $10 on a framed picture of Count Dooku, Darth Sidious and Jango Fett from Star Wars since my GF thought it was funny. The frame recently broke and I found out after seeing the back of the picture it was from a calendar when Attack of the Clones came out. Someone just cut this picture out of an old calendar, put it in a frame and my dumbass voluntarily spent $10 on it. You bought the frame. I'd had a few drinks, TGIF, and wandered into a Williams-Sonoma store in a state of euphoria. There I saw a special edition KitchenAid stand mixer made in bronze that was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. It was on sale for $999. Naturally, I bought it, but because I'm a single guy who doesn't bake it's just taking up much needed counter space. No time like the present to learn. I went to a Williams-Sonoma once. After I saw the prices I set out on a quest to find the cheapest item in the store. It was a potato peeler for $14. The blanket that makes you look like a giant burrito. It was super thin and of poor quality, not to mention not big enough to cover me. Now I'll never look like a burrito. As an owner of this burrito blanket, yes, it is small, but it is very soft and very comfortable. I think there's more than one on the market. I'm betting yours is better than mine. There was this guy named Don Lepre who sold money making kits, like how to make money with classified ads. I think I invested about $350 and received literally nothing of value. I was young, and being stupid. Looked him up tonight to remember how to spell his name. Turns out he killed himself with a razor blade while in jail in 2011. I have to say, his TV commercials were very convincing. Thankfully at the time I was young and broke, so I couldn't pay for his nonsense. If I had enough room on my credit card, I would have. I finally figured out that he implied lots of income, but the testimonials only talked about revenues. I bought a pager. The clip snapped. I took it to where I bought it. We only cover the pager, not the case. I walked outside right in front of the window and spiked the shit out 8F it. Walked back inside and said my pager is broken. Did it work? After I returned it, yay. I was 11 and my dad gave me $50 to spend at the mall, so I wandered into a gift shop and spent it all on an electronic vibrating oinking pink pig. I never played with it after I brought it home. Tried to return it, only to be offered store credit. You taught your father a valuable lesson in financial responsibility. Got drunk and started ordering ninja gear off of Amazon and forgot about it until it showed up like a week later. Swords, nunchucks, a suit and mask. Most expensive dumb thing, a Mercedes 500 SL. Literally bankrupt myself buying parts and gas for that ducking land yacht. Sold it for half what I paid and felt lucky to be rid of it. Dumbest dumb thing, a metallic gold laden painting of a Pontiac Firebird. It uses white trash and I had planned on putting it in a family gift exchange as a joke but didn't end up going and got stuck with it. It's currently hanging in a storage room. Like all classy paintings do. Hang it in your garage so all your neighbors see it whenever you open your garage. Big wedding. All that money could have helped so many problems we had later. Divorced anyway. This past Christmas Eve I was doing some last minute shopping and came across a wine glass shaped like Buddy from the movie Elf, which of course also had Will Ferrell's face on it. With everything kinda being out of order with the holiday rush, I didn't know how much it cost. But I bought it on pure impulse because I thought it was funny. It wasn't until I left the store and looked at the receipt did I realize that it cost $22. Which is way more than it's worth. To remind me of my mistake, I now drink out of that glass exclusively and have been for the past 5 months. I have to wash it like twice a day, but I won't stop using it until I feel like I've gotten my $22 worth. ShamWow. I mean, it's got sham right there in the name. But I wanted to support Vince from ShamWow's crusade against Scientology. A Himalayan salt lamp. Useless, but aesthetically pleasing. I have one in my kid's bedroom. It has a great dimmable switch that can be turned way low and it becomes a very pleasant warm glowing night light for my children. I go in and turn it off after they've fallen asleep. I think it looks cool. Also my kids lick the thing sometimes. I have one on my desk. On boring days I wonder how many licks it would take to get to the light bulb. My friends and I randomly decided to get into paintballing one year. My first visit to a paintball shop. I apparently felt like flexing my brand new I have a job and no bills because I live with my parents' income. So I dropped about $400 on a paintball gun that looked like an AK-47, the way a Nerf pistol looks like a Glock. We did a few practice fights with each other, then went to a paintball field that weekend. The bell rang. The fight started. I ran out, aimed at a guy, gun jammed, and I got shot in the head. Just above the part my mask was covering. That gun never fired again and I ended up replacing it with a cheap Tipman 98 Custom, which as far as I understand is the vanilla sherbet of paintball guns. It worked, but we stopped paintballing forever after like 2 months. So I guess the second gun was also one of the dumbest things I spent money on. Connie 2012. Oh man, is it Connie 2012? I have an official Connie 2012 shirt in my closet. I bought it for $1 at a thrift store in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't the dumbest $1 I've ever spent. Gifts for my mother. She complains every single time. I bought my parents a new smart TV for Christmas after they'd been compliant about their old one and how much of a hassle it was watching things like Netflix. The TV is still in the box. Shampoo. I'm bald. Doesn't mean you don't need shampoo. Who doesn't want their homegrown hairy man sweater to be lush and shiny? This comment is showing up blank. Almost as though my eyes refuse to communicate what it says to my brain. Boxes. I never save them and toss them in recycling. Well, moving time came around and I was in need of many boxes. So I spent more money than I would like to admit of cardboard and bubble wrap. $10 plus delivery fee for a $6-8 meal. I absolutely loved her, but the Great Dane I had was dumb. I'm talking so ducking irredeemably dumb that she would regularly smash face first into walls chasing flies, and run right into a closed door, not see through. When I asked if she needed to go out, she was a sweet loving good girl. A tiny alarm clock, smaller than my hand. It actually functions pretty well though, so it's a good travel alarm. As long people don't get suspicious about the ticking noise coming from your bag. Also a great way to hide the sound of the bomb inside your bag. This thing Suzanne Sums was pitching on QVC at 3 AM 15 years ago to help avoid getting wrinkles on your face. I was up all crazy hours with a newborn at the time, so a bit delirious. It was some electrical impulse mini machine for approx $150. Suzanne looked fantastic and said she hadn't ever had plastic surgery and had just used this little machine on her face her whole life. I believed it, spent the money, and when it arrived 3 weeks later I never even took it out of the box to use it. Priority shipping during COVID quarantine. I just wanted to see if it would arrive, but I'm still waiting on that order I placed in early March. I once bought my girlfriend a hat and had her name embroidered on it. She asked me if I would ever wear a shirt with my name on it. I would not. In-app purchases. I once blew $1,000 on a mobile game. I bought a Kirby vacuum. They got me hook, line, and sinker. I've wasted money before, but this is one thing I always go back to and I'm actually ashamed of. Like, I fell for their whole sales pitch. It was like $2,500 for a damn vacuum. I was on a payment plan for a vacuum. They have a shampooer attachment. It blows as a shampooer. You can take the handle off and use it on the stairs. It's still fucking heavy and annoying. It has a transmission that makes it easier to go across the carpet, but when it decides not to play nice it takes like 8 times the effort to get a room done. Oh, and the way the attachments works is a whole annoying ordeal. Please, for the love of everything holy and pure, go to Walmart and get a vacuum. You can replace a lot of carpet for what one of those Kirby abominations will cost you. Edit. Not Kirby the fun-loving pink bubble from Nintendo that we all know and love. I just sunk around $7,000 in becoming a licensed massage therapist. Had my job a little over a year and was just starting to get pretty solid when suddenly I can no longer touch people or be within 6 feet of them. At least I paid off my student loans in February. My family visited Colorado when I was 10 and I saw a statue of a mosquito in a gift shop with the word state bird on the bottom and begged my parents for it. We now have a rather large mosquito statue on our piano. A piano. Dumb. Stupid. Costly and near worthless. But the ex-wife wanted a real piano for the kids because they would then practice on it. Bullshit. $3,500 for the piano. $4,000 in lessons. All for teaching them to hate playing the piano. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.